All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the fifth, I believe, of 8 sessions of Monsterhearts that we are running on the Open Hearth Gaming Community. Yeah, so we have 2 players here, and one more will likely join us within a moment or two. And why don't I just review some of the safety tools before we get started. So we're playing with the Open Hearth community's rules of conduct, and that includes using 3 different kinds of safety tools. One is lines and veils, and so lines are things that we are not going to include in our narrative, and we decide that in advance normally, but we can also decide that on the fly. And veils are things that can be alluded to in our narrative, but are normally happening off screen, and we don't give them direct screens now. And then we're also using the open door policy, which means that any of us, for whatever reason, and we don't have to explain the reason, can step away, either temporarily or longer term. If you are going to step away for longer term, like maybe not come back for the session, and you actually know that, if you could let me know, that would be helpful. Welcome, David. We're just going through safety tools, and we're recording if that's okay with you. Okay, and I'll check in hopefully at the end of the session as well. And the X card, and then we're using the X card, which is if at any point something comes up, regardless of whether it was on lines and veils or anything else, it's just something that makes anybody uncomfortable or when they're happy with it in the gameplay, they can just give the X sign either on the video or in the chat or verbally say X card, and we'll take a pause. We'll excise that content, and then we rewind and move forward. Yeah, let's see. That is our safety tools. And the other thing I like to do at the beginning of each Monsterhearts session is just to go over the 4 principles of the agenda one more time. We all know them, but I want to say them here for myself. Is to make each main character's life not boring, to keep the story feral, to say what the rules demand, and lastly, to say what honesty demands. Okay, so I wanted to remind you in terms of housekeeping that I added an XP point to everybody who was here last time, and so we're getting 1 XP for attendance during this run, just to move kind of the advancement clock along a little more quickly. So let's review wishes from last time. Wishes are in the classroom tab of our keeper. And wishes that we had in the queue. For David, this is for Chloe. Chloe is still working on getting Mario to love her. And they use the strings attached bargain for that purpose. Chloe's looking for scenes with Alistair. Alistair is not going to be here today, so but we'll save that one for next time when Alistair's with us. And also a sneak peek at Belinda's collection, which should be able to have today. We'll see. And then Donna for Belinda is interested in pursuing the breakup of the Eustace Anya affair with August, the reverse parent trap. Is interested in seeing the Belinda Chloe dynamic evolve, and wonders if it's time to see more of the Dark Power or even the Fairy King. And for Stephen and August, looking interested in revenge on Chloe for the broken promise. And then Travis isn't with us today, and my wish is that I'm interested in finding out what the secret tunnel leads, which we'll hear more about when we do our introductions. All right. So those are our wishes. So why don't we do a round of introductions, and you can just say introduce your character and then say something about what your character was up to last week. I guess maybe what we'll do is we'll let Chloe go last, since Chloe wasn't with us last week. I'm going to give Chloe a little bit more of a sense of what happened last week. Stephen, do you want to start?
Yeah, hey there. I am Steven, he, him, and I am going to be playing August, also he, him, the Fae. Uh Last time we saw August, he was making out with Alistair, and also look, deciding following through on Belinda's plan to convince our parents we were dating in order to break our parents up in a reverse parent trap. And to be fair, the reverse parent trap was the only thing that Belinda contributed. I contributed the rest.
August had a lot of ideas. August riffed on that theme. Yes, great. Donna.
Yeah, hey, my name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Belinda, she, they, who's the worm. And last week, I guess, we saw Belinda hold court in the coffee shop. Scheming and machinating and, all that lovely stuff. Lots of irons in the fire.
Lots of setup for Belinda last time.
Yeah. and not telling anyone what had happened the previous night with Chloe because we didn't know. We don't know.
It's all very nebulous. We don't know what happened. Yes. Great. And then David, if you just introduced Chloe, and last time we saw her.
Yeah, hi everyone, David S, he, him pronouns, playing as Chloe the Infernal. And I wasn't here last time, so I'm playing a little bit of catch up right now, but I last saw Chloe having delivered Harriet to her infernal patron, and ended up in Belinda's catacombs beneath the household, the manor house, if you will. And we kind of cut to black after we started making out. So I'm curious to see where that actually ended up going. But that's where I think I am right now.
And you had some sort of an agenda going to Margin House beyond making out with Belinda, I believe.
Yeah. Above and beyond that, yeah, I was going there in particular so that I could essentially get a bunch of dirt on Belinda's family, so I could forward that over to Mario for an expose that he's writing. And if I make myself useful to him, I think that he'll like me, but I doubt that'll happen. He's head over heels with, I think, Yasmin at this point.
Mm-hmm. But hope springs eternal. So
yes, of course.
All right, great. Thanks for those introductions. So it makes sense, I think, to start with, we did cut away 2 episodes ago in the catacombs, under the watchful eyes of many skulls. After, I believe, Chloe had already maybe snapped a photo of some of the skulls. I can't remember. So we're in this dank catacomb, and the 2 girls begin a bit of a makeout session, and we cut away from that. So why don't we cut back to that, and if Chloe and Belinda are game, and we can see as you come up for air what happens and where we go next.
So, David, do you want to go deeper into the catacombs, or are you happy to cut to the bedroom because that's where you find the collection, right? And maybe see.
Well, I'm happy to cut away and go to the bedroom. I'm curious. and this is up to you. Do I get a chance to take a photo of the skull or not?
I mean, I think you could, maybe as I lead you out, you could surreptitiously um, take a picture, right? There's, I'm leading the way, so my back is turned for that for those few seconds.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. If
No
that's cool
flash.
with you.
Yeah, the flash might give it away. I don't know.
Well, no, that's fair. Yeah, no. If I
Um,
have to do a flash then it's not going to work because it's pitch black. There's no way you don't notice that.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I guess you could like turn on the light on your phone and because you need to see to
All
get
right,
your
because
way
you need
out.
to see the way
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
And
as
then
long
you
as
could
it's
use that
on.
to disguise it.
Oh,
Depends
yeah. There you go.
how cunning Chloe is, right?
Sure. Okay, let's do that if that's fine with you.
Yeah.
And then I was curious, do you want to reveal your collection, or at least any part of it to me? Because you have a move that
Yeah.
you could use here if you wanted.
Yeah, so I think when we make our way up to Belinda's bedroom, I mean, it's like, I don't know, not ginormous. It doesn't have a walk-in closet, but it's still like a big bedroom, right? Um,
So
and
before you do
sorry,
that, Donna, I was going to say,
yeah,
as you're walking through the catacombs and we see Chloe kind of surreptitiously taking photos of the skulls in the alcoves. So you hear a voice in your head that says, "Look at that one on the right, dear. Look at that one on the right, dear." And you turn your light towards one of the skulls on the right. And you notice that you snap a picture, and you also notice, as you're looking at it, that it has two horns coming out of the skull, like antelope horns. And it also has underneath it an iron collar, a rusted out iron collar underneath it. And at that moment, Belinda turns around and you can say something here, or you can not say something, and we could just keep moving forward into Belinda's bedroom. I want to know how you exit the tunnels into Belinda's bedroom now. What it looks like.
well, so first, I mean, I will kind of look slightly disapprovingly, right, at what's going on with the light. It's like, and kind of shrug, right? You've seen it, and then lead Chloe back out. I was gonna like lead up back like into the wine cellar and back out, but maybe it's more
It's a wine
delicious
cellar.
to go to keep going, right? So yeah, we keep going to the end of this catacomb, and then there's this like small arch which leads into what is a vault underneath the manor. And I think this vault is kind of full of, these big, old wooden packing boxes that, might have been, before Maersk cornered the market in in steel containers, what stuff that got put on ships is on. But like in the distance, you see this shimmering sea of silver, right? There's like not quite smog level of hoard, but a sizable mound of silver coinage. And then there's this spiral staircase, which goes up to Belinda's bedroom.
You say,
Okay.
Chloe, as you enter this vault.
And this is, did you describe this as being kind of off on the side, or are we walking kind of through it to get to the staircase, or where
I
am
think
I?
when we're walking through this staircase, we're walking through those big crates. So like off in the distance, you definitely see this. Yeah, these kind of this sea of silver.
Hey, what is that?
The I think that's the mint of 49.
What is that? Just like a bunch of half dollars or something? I don't think they. Oh no, they didn't have half dollars in 49. What? How much money is that?
A terrible amount. I think they don't have half dollars from 49 because we have them all. That's how I think it went.
Wow, and I don't think I even know what to say about it. Because I've already been taking pictures everywhere. I don't think I can actually take a photo of this without really destroying my relationship with you. So I think I just kind of gawk at it for a moment until maybe you have to kind of like pull me along, and then we ascend the staircase that way.
And I think as we're going up the stairs, I like, you know, I lean in to say later. I mean, I guess we're in the middle of the desert, so snow angels are not a thing, but like silver angels are definitely a thing.
Right, right. So I guess I'm just gonna kind of make a note of that in my head. And out of character, is that's not technically your collection, is it?
That is not my collection.
I don't
That is
think-
probably like my father's collection. You know?
Right.
He calls it his fortune, right? But
And we don't know what's in those boxes.
yeah, I don't know what's in those boxes. So yeah, the collection is in the bedroom, so it's the like a big ass jewelry box, right? So
Right.
like again, you know, looking very familiar, or at least it would look very familiar to August in terms of the style. Everything in it is silver, pretty much. We obviously have no truck with gold, that lesser metal.
Right. Okay. And so from here then, I'm curious, kind of out of character, where you think it would make sense to take things.
I would love
So-
to hear a description of the room. If the two of you would be willing, yeah, actually, all three of you, if you could all
Sure.
add some detail about Belinda's room before you step into the narrative, that would be really fun.
Yeah,
You
sure.
want to start, David?
Oh gosh. Let me think. Um, Heavy velvet curtains, very maximalist. You know, almost to Donna, tell me if this sounds right to you, but almost kind of like a love nest feel to it.
Okay, yeah.
Donna, would you want, what else about Belinda's bedroom
I
jumps out at us as we see it?
mean, I think like in terms of the wardrobe, you can see like one half of it is obviously like this casual set of clothes, which is all you would have ever seen. But there's another half which is kind of more formal or even high formal, which is obviously the kind of stuff that you wear when you're part of the Marchand family doing things, you know, or being seen and not heard at parties, right? And it's not, you know, it's not being put away with you know, to get dusty. It's obviously in kind of constant use, but yeah, again, nothing that you would ever see her in.
Right.
Stephen, would you like to add a detail to Belinda's boudoir?
Oh man. I was torn between two things, but I mean, I guess I don't know, just because it just was striking me as the most like I feel like there must be like Cantonese practice books because you know your dad demands that you spend at least an hour a day practicing so that you can pick up the so that you can become a vital part of the business internationally.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
What was
Yeah,
the other
probably
thing?
Cantonese, German, you know, a couple other languages.
Couple other languages.
Yeah.
All right, Donna, I interrupted you when you were about
Oh yeah,
to
sorry.
move forward.
So this was the question about when would be the best time for Chloe to take a piece. I mean, I know last time, David, you were kind of talking about like taking that witchy move that allows you to take a sympathetic token.
Thinking about it.
Yeah. But to be honest, like if you just ask or find something that you see something that you find appealing, you know, I doubt Belinda will reject your request, right? I don't think you have to be sneaky about it.
Oh, okay. Got it. And so the collection, is it 100% jewelry?
Jewelry or jewelry adjacent. So maybe there's like some like mirrors that are inlaid in silver or
Oh, that could be
Yeah.
interesting. Uh-huh.
So the two of you step into the room, right?
Yes.
And you see the jewelry box, Chloe. It's very imposing. You see the wardrobe. You see the books of Cantonese open on the bed, perhaps. You see Belinda's formal wear is also her, but also the more familiar school wear. Maybe you've never seen the formal wear before. And so, what do you say as you enter? Or what catches your attention, and how do you move in the space?
I think I just say, wow. And I'm sort of taken aback by it. Like this is very much like, oh, I'm in the spider's web now. And I think that it's a lot for me to process. And I think is this like box and this layout of jewelry just like out on like a vanity somewhere, or how is it set out?
Yeah, I think it's on the vanity, and it's probably open, so you can get and I think it's like a little bit big and ostentatious, maybe in a style that's not quite in keeping with the rest of the room. So yeah, it's completely on display.
Gotcha. I think like Moth Flame, I just kind of like go straight over to the vanity, and I imagine it's this big opulent mirror with gilding and um these engravings along this curved border, that sort of thing. And there's just all of this like reflecting, shining, glittering light coming off of everything, and you can see it reflecting in my eyes and off of the mirror. And it's almost surreal is kind of how I'm picturing it. Like this is not merely just a large assortment of jewelry. This has a certain weirdness to it, almost to a kind of supernatural, uncanny degree. And I think I'm just like gazing over it, and my eyes are just alight with this view of everything that you have.
And I think I'll, maybe poke your shoulder, like I'm here, you know.
Is this all your family's? This stuff looks ancient, like all of it has to be like antique.
I mean, I was going to say it's all mine, but yeah, I guess it's like mostly family heirlooms and stuff. Yeah.
And I wonder kind of what sort of item I should be most interested in.
Make one up.
What was that?
Make one up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking here. I mean, I was thinking maybe like a bracelet perhaps that this might be kind of on the nose, but it's a teen melodrama, so I don't think subtlety makes sense. Maybe there is like a bracelet that's made up of these chain links. This sort of thing that almost denotes like a state of slavery or captivity or something like that. And I mean, I'm sure that they're not just like your standard like cheap metal. Like I'm sure every chain has to be platinum or something like that, and it has like inlays of all kinds of precious stones or something like that. But maybe that's kind of what I gravitate toward. And I notice that there's one lying there, and without maybe even asking if I can touch it, I'll kind of like pick it up and sort of let it dangle in front of me. And it has this very pleasing sort of sound as the clinking of the chain links together comes up, and I see it, and there's this reflection of it, and I'm just gazing into it, kind of a when Bilbo finds the One Ring and is utterly infatuated by it, sort of moment.
Yeah, so I think I'll help put it on you, right? Because it's a tricky catch. I mean, who can ever do these things one-handed anyway, right?
Yeah, and of course our hands have to like touch, and there's like a moment where we both lock eyes as we're like both applying this bracelet to my wrist. I think I am putty in your hands at this point, and I don't know, Jose, if the I keep forgetting the official title. I should know this. The Shadow Queen is pleased by this, or maybe hates it, because I feel like I'm almost torn between two masters at this point.
Yeah. So the Shadow Queen is quiet at the moment. She's not speaking in this place. Last time she spoke to you was in the catacombs when she said, "Look to the right." But now that you've entered the bedroom, she's not speaking. And I think Belinda is beginning to put the bracelet around your wrist. Are you giving it to her? I mean, how is it? I'm just curious about Belinda. What's it like to see Chloe coveting something from your hoard? Is it satisfying, or is it what's it bring up for Belinda?
I mean, usually there is there's a gap in time in terms of like when someone covets an item and when I give it to them, right? And there's like there's some manner of extraction, right? There's
right. I think that's how the movie's kind of written.
There's a like a power play, like maybe we saw with August. But here it's like Chloe wants it, she gets it, right? This is maybe where we see Belinda not really being as calculating as she usually is, right? I think also
triggering a move, right? Triggering a move,
which is
good for
which is the market experience when that lovely things becomes theirs, right? It's really just a lure for other characters. So yeah, I think like when that clasp clicks into place, but I will check in. How does that feel?
It's perfect. And there's like this audible gulp as I like try to meet your gaze, but for whatever reason, I'm just overwhelmed with this shyness, like I'm not worthy to be in your presence.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think this extended eye contact is such that maybe, maybe you've noticed it, maybe you haven't. Belinda, the description on her eyes is unblinking, right? But I think you see her blink, but it's that reptilian third eyelid, the transparent one that goes across from side to side, right?
Oh, that's gross.
Nicotine membrane, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
wanna-
and I'll gasp a little bit, but it'll catch in my throat, and I'm just there's maybe a very brief moment of reluctance, as I almost pulled just a little bit away from you, but then I stop myself, completely mesmerized, and just remain affixed to you.
Mhm. So then it's, do you want to continue what we started now that we're in a more comfortable surrounding with not with so many eyes watching us?
Whatever you want.
Oh, accommodating.
Which, out of character, this is such an awful parallel of the relationship I used to be in. Oh my god.
So one quick pause to do something mechanical there. You should take an XP, Chloe, for from bait, from Belinda's move. And Belinda, I'm also going to give you a string on Chloe, based on what just happened.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's your call, Donna. If you want, we can fade to black or whatever you want to see happen here.
Yeah, I think we can fade to black and then maybe come back after the next scene to see what happens then. So,
sure. And so we'll see the two girls close the distance a bit and then and fade to black in there. Okay, and we can come back later. Okay, August. Let's turn to you now. Last scene we had with August, it was in the coffee shop, right? About the reverse parent trap.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, where might August go now? So that's the next day. We're popping back between yesterday and today.
I'm just kind of trying to think of like what I'd be doing other than like the parent trap, because Alistair also isn't here. Does anyone have any thoughts?
I wasn't here last time, so I'm not quite sure where you are, or I would supply ideas, but I'm just a little bit behind.
There's a couple of things that occur to me. One is we could switch to a scene where you and Belinda the next day are that day, the day of the coffee shop, are doing some preparations for the reverse parent trap.
Okay.
Or that's one thing that occurs to me. We also had a track meet set up for Sunday. And that's something that we can move to, but I think that's going to be more, everybody's going to be there. So so maybe we hold off on that one. But are there any other NPCs that you're looking to interact with?
See, who's Harriet? Oh, right. Harriet is the yeah, she was in the freakish accident. And I'm also thinking if Belinda's dad had an office at the casino, that I mean Billy owes me a breaking and entering assist.
He does. Yeah, I think if it's okay with you, Belinda, I think your father actually is one of the investors in the casino.
Oh, I figured he was. Yeah,
yeah.
I assumed. I didn't think that would be otherwise at this point.
Yeah. So maybe he does have a bit of an office where he uses it for meeting people. He doesn't really dirty his hands in the management of the casino directly. more kind of a VIP lounge / office for networking and hobnobbing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call on Billy, call in the
Call in the
the
favor.
breaking and entering assist with Billy.
Okay.
Look, Belinda is fleshed out my plan pretty well. I think I just want to also you know, I already invaded my mom's privacy. It's like only fair that I also invade Belinda's dad's.
That's perfectly logical, I think. So what do you text Billy or do you swing by his house or you
Billy, need help breaking and entering. Then I do like shit. Shouldn't write that on my phone. How do I delete?
I think it's too late to delete now, Billy says. Where are we breaking and entering? Over.
Uh Belinda's dad's office. Oh, Eustace. Terrible name.
And he texts back, I'm in. I need a distraction. Meet you at the back entrance to the casino. And it's still during the day, I'm thinking.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's a casino, so you can't really, it doesn't really matter if you come at day.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, I head there.
All right. So I think when you come upon the back door, and this is the back door that goes to the kitchen, and also where you guys got stole the booze last time. Still have that key of your mom's. That's and I think when you come across Billy, he is he's smoking a joint, and his eyes look really bloodshot. And looks like he hasn't slept in a while. He's not looking good.
What's up, Billy? I mean, I think the party ended last week. Or no, 2 days ago. Right. This is like 2 days after. The party ended 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah. Something happened at that party, man. I haven't been able to pull out of it. I think I had a bad trip on something that Alex gave me. I haven't been sleeping. Nightmares, nightmares.
I know. Did you see that Chloe's a shadow princess too?
What? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. She's just I don't know. She's I don't know. Do you ever see those like magical girl anime? I think she's something like that. Except evil. I don't know. I'm gonna talk with her about it eventually.
Shit, you think so? That's what I've been dreaming about. This shadow. But now it's on Harriet. I'm still dreaming about Harriet, like I told you, but it's not good dreams anymore. Now there's something scary in it. And he takes another drag off of his joint. And you think it has something to do with Chloe? Did Chloe do something to him?
I mean, I don't know. I thought I could trust Chloe, but we were gonna hang at the party and she shows up with Mario, and then she's apparently serving like the Dark Lord. I don't know.
What the fuck, the Dark Lord? You're scaring me, man. Who is that? And he starts looking around like, is that like a mobster or something?
Like, just no, it's an illusion. It's just read a book, Billy, and I take the joint and pull a drag on it.
And Billy looks at you and says, "What happened to your face?" And he reaches up a finger to your cheek.
Look, I like brush his hand away. It's nothing. It's the past.
If anyone's fucking with you, you gotta tell me because we're bros now. We're in this together.
Exactly. And why do you think we're going to break into fucking Eustace's office?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, you have distracted. Billy's easily distractible mind.
Yeah.
with petty larceny.
Yep. Really, really like Billy's whole existence is just a series of public service announcements.
Yes. He is there to serve.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Do you know where it is? I don't know where his office is, man.
Shit, I
Where
thought
is
you
it?
knew.
No,
But your dad's the floor manager. He doesn't know.
I didn't ask him.
That was implied, Billy. Okay, we'll just I'm sure there's a floor plan. I'm sure we'll find it.
It's probably off the floor of the casino, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's upstairs. That's where all the VIPs are at. But there is a back way where they bring the drinks and they bring the supplies up. There's a back stairwell. We can go up that. Maybe it's up there.
Okay,
Come on.
good plan.
Come on.
Yeah, we're doing that.
We're doing
Well, I mean, like, I'd like to say that August had a plan here, but like, as we've seen, August's breaking and entering plans have not really been that tightly planned out before.
So as you're going up, I mean, you the two of you do have to avoid some people, some workers in the back, and you do make it up to the second floor. And I'm curious whether August is just like, whoa, yeah, it's like fun, or is August afraid that he might get caught or something bad might happen?
Oh boy. I think that inhale of weed was a bad choice at the moment because I think I'm probably having a paranoid trip.
A paranoid trip.
Like I mean this is like that's what happens. You know, you don't actually smoke weed before doing something really nerve-wracking because that's just gonna make it worse.
Mhm. So what is August afraid might happen now? What is the nature of his paranoia at the moment?
God, uh I mean, I feel like they're besides like the getting caught, I feel like that like we're gonna get lost and Billy's gonna fucking wander off somewhere.
Okay. So I think you might need to keep your cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
okay.
So I haven't opened the character.
Yeah. Just August. It's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay, even with the -1. So on a 9, the MC will tell you how. Oh, wait a second. We'll tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. So this is about the breaking into Eustace's office. I think you do find the location of Eustace's office, but there are a lot of people coming back and forth along the hall where it's at. And if you do try to break into that office, and someone could see you, and you could be in some serious trouble. And remember, your mother works there; she could get fired if you're using her key for that back door.
What was the stakes?
The stakes are that you could get caught. There are people coming and going, and if you do, your mother could get fired because they'll find her key on you.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, that was the, I guess I got through with this.
All right, so the two of you do get into the office, and I think this might be a fun place to like describe Eustace's office at the casino. He's not there, so no one's in the office when the two of you stumble in and close the door probably a little bit too loudly because you're both stoned now. Billy very stoned and you slightly stoned apparently. So what's something that jumps out at you immediately, August, as you enter the office? Something about that room.
I'm sorry, is it just me, or is Jose's voice kind of muffling at points?
Is my voice bad? Yeah, I usually have a much better mic. I'm sorry, I'm on a
Okay.
different computer. So I'll try to speak more loudly. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you notice when you enter the office? What's Eustace's office like?
I mean, I'm just thinking back. I think that he just has a lot of mounted animal heads. I'm just thinking back to the Hall of Skulls. I think there's just a lot of mounted animal heads in here.
Okay,
I think that's one
mounted
of
animal
the
heads.
things that I think
That's
is
a
there.
detail. Yeah. Donna, do you want to add a detail to Belinda's daddy's office?
I think the desk is, I don't know, like carved from one chunk of wood, kind of sturdy, right? It's impossibly extravagant. And yeah, I mean, it's odd these days to see a desk without a computer, but there we have it. It's like, it's maybe a writing bureau, but no monitor or anything like that on it. Just this kind of center of power in the middle of the room.
All right, and that's the desk. David, would you like to add something to the office?
Again, it's kind of unsubtle and on the nose, but I think if the furniture's got legs, they're clawfoot.
The claw-footed legs. All right. So then Billy says, "We did it. We got in, dude. Wait, what are we looking for? Are we gonna steal something?"
We're looking for anything. Uh, we're looking for anything sort of weird,
Weird.
like weirder than all the fucking animal heads I know.
Those men, are they watching you? It looks like their eyes are watching me.
Look, just
Freaking
don't
me out.
fucking look them in the eye, and they won't steal your soul. Okay?
Dude, whenever I say anything to you, you always make me more scared. Okay, I'm not looking at them.
I'm not looking at them either. I don't want them to have my soul. Okay?
Shit. Okay,
Look,
stop
I'm just
talking about
reminding
false
you,
feelings.
August is also high right now. Not as high as him, but a bit.
So Billy goes over and starts like rifling through. There's like a small bar area, and he's going through the bar area for some reason. What does August do?
I guess I'm gonna rifle through the desk.
So there is a locked drawer on the desk, and the papers that are on the desk you don't recognize really. I mean, as much of anything. There's some personal correspondence with people you don't know, and there's also in this office there's like a couch and a love seat. There's like a seating area where people hang out, or where people would normally hang out too. And they're big kind of leather upholstered cushy chairs, like the kind that you would see in I don't know, a private dinner club or something like that. And there's a table, a coffee table there in front of it. And there on the coffee table in front of it, though, you do see that there is a map of the town and the area around the town.
Yeah, I think my eyes go wide as I am staring at this, and I think I'm gonna make a roll with dark. I'm gonna stare into the abyss, gaze into the abyss.
Stoned at Eustace's office, gazing into the abyss. I mean, really, what could go wrong?
Look, it's a 5. You're laughing too much, Jose.
Too much? Okay, well, it's just a 5. It was perfect. Okay, let's say you hear voices coming down the hall. And you can tell they're headed towards you. And the turn of the doorknob as someone's entering the room. What do you do?
Let's see. So there's the desk, and what else is in the room?
There is the bar. There are these big cushy chairs, sofa, and love seat.
Okay, I say fuck, and I grab Billy, and I die behind the sofa, the love seat. And I just cover Billy's mouth because I know he's gonna say something.
And Billy's eyes are wide. His big bloodshot eyes are really wide. And then you hear the voices come in. And they're the voices of, let's say it's 2 men. You can't see from where you're at. They're speaking in Cantonese with one another. And then you feel the pressure on the movement of the of the sofa as they sit down onto the sofa. And you can't understand what they're saying, but they're speaking in kind of soft tones now to one another, and as if they're planning something. And Billy's eyes are very, very wide, and he's gripping your arm very tightly. What do you do? Maybe we can cut away from the scene at this moment.
Yeah.
And take our break.
Okay.
And we can come back and see what happens. And we can cut back maybe to Belinda and Chloe.
All right.
All right. So what time is it right now?
It's 1 after.
It's 1 after. So let's come back at 11 after. Take a
Okay.
10-minute break. All right. See you later. All right, we're back. So let's flash back to Marchand House. This is the day before again, or the night before, I should say. We had faded to black. Yeah. As you two, we come back to Belinda's bedroom. I assume we have some sex moves to resolve mechanically first. So why don't we start? Let's start with Chloe. Chloe, could you read us your sex move?
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. When you have sex with someone, two things happen. One, the dark power, in this case the Shadow Queen, loses a string on me, and number two, she gains a string on, in this case, Belinda.
Ah, all right. I will take a note of that.
So I think she has 2 strings on me at this point, but I'm going to be using some powers here soon to bump that up a little bit.
Okay, so I remove one of those strings. 2 strings. Okay. And then I'll note that the Shadow Queen has a string on Belinda. Donna, what is it about what happened that somehow gives Belinda an uneasy sense that there's some other presence here?
I think maybe it's not something apparent in the moment, but later on, I get a sense that there's something in the mirror. You know, there's like a strange reflection or a shadow passing over it or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So we see Belinda at her going through her items in her treasure box and in front of the vanity mirror and watching over her shoulder as she sees something in the bedroom that wasn't there before. Yeah, great. All right. I'll note that the dark power has a string on Belinda. Can you read Belinda's sex move for us?
Yeah. After sex with someone, ask what they'd like and promise you'll get it for them. Gain 2 strings on them. I think this is going to be like an explicit question that Belinda asks Chloe. And maybe it's, like very earnestly, like, what do you want? Which, if you're a fan of Babylon 5, is the question the shadows ask of people.
And in asking this question, I'm just curious. So Belinda sees Chloe as kind of treasure, right?
Yeah.
So is it a sense like when you're asking what do you want, like you really want to please her, like she's your pet, like she's your or that you really feel fond or affection for her, or what is it that motivates Belinda to ask this question? How does she ask this question?
So I think, at this point, it's not entirely like this is a shiny thing and I'm going to make it as shiny as possible. It's not like this thing has to be as good as possible and that reflects well on me. I think there is like an element of infatuation, of like wanting to make Chloe happy. But there eventually it's like maybe the darkest self side of this is that my things have to be as shiny as possible,
right. Well, maybe that's a good place to start the scene then, is with you turning to Chloe and asking that question.
So yeah, it's hey Chloe, what do you want?
Ooh, this is okay. So I'm gonna think through this out of character for just a second, because up until recently I really wanted Mario, and I think I still do. It's just that I don't know that I would say that to Belinda right after I had sex with her.
I think though, I will in this case.
Oopsie.
Spend a string for you to fuck up something simple at a crucial moment.
Never fuck with the
Fae.
Okay, I'll cross that off my revenge list.
You were hoping that was on your wish list, right? To get revenge.
So that thing that where you're in like a moment of passion with people and your guard is kind of down and you accidentally call someone the wrong name.
Okay.
I think I will like kind of almost like nestle into you and kind of like almost like purr a little bit. I'm still sort of in this like afterglow kind of place where I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of saying whatever comes to mind, and I'll just say Mario, and then I'll freeze. And now I don't know if this messes with your move though, Belinda, because it says you're supposed to promise that you're going to get it for me.
I guess.
But that doesn't mean you have to keep that promise.
No, I'm happy to roll with this. And I think I think there's certainly a sense of sudden coldness from Belinda, right? There's a if you were snuggling and if you're nuzzling in, it's like a sudden withdrawal, like you want Mario. What do you want it for?
I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I didn't mean it.
You meant it.
And can I maybe just like try to run away here?
You could. You could attempt it. It's not going to be easy, but you could attempt it. Yeah.
God knows where you end up, right?
Oh God, my volatile's a -1. Yeah, no, I think am panicking too much to be able to even have a conversation here. Does that sound okay to folks if I just like roll to run away? Like I just like hastily grab my clothes and go?
Sure, you can try.
And I'm sure there's all kinds of opportunities to run into worse things if it comes to that.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Markham house.
Okay. And I'm also going to give the dark power a string on me to get a +2 on this roll.
Okay,
So they're actually up to 3 strings on me.
we're back up to 3. Okay.
Right. And so I'm rolling this at a +1. Let me see. I need to find the dice roller. I'm sorry. Where is that thing? Here it is. Okay, here we go.
Oh goodness. Well, the good news is that you get experience.
Still got a 4.
And so fail on a runaway move.
Maybe parents or
uh, yeah, it's kind of similar to run into something worse, right?
well, or it could be
Oh.
multiple.
Oh, I see. I have it. So you do attempt to grab your clothes, and how is Belinda reacting as Chloe like hastily puts on her clothes?
I mean, I'm maybe I'm just asking that question again. Like, how do you mean you want Mario? Because I am not just letting her walk out of this.
And I think
what kind of rambling excuses Chloe is coming out with for why she suddenly has to leave, right?
Is Chloe saying anything, David?
I'm apologizing, and I'm saying it was a mistake, and I just I was thinking about how he and I were just talking before. It was a slip up. I'm not into him. It's not convincing.
And as you attempt to escape, you've got enough clothing on that you could actually make a run for it now. You're still barefoot, maybe. Are you going the way into the catacombs, or are you going out her bedroom door into the hall?
Oh, I mean, I guess whichever is nearer. Did you? I mean, whichever one suits you better for the hard move, Jose. I mean, did you have a specific route in mind?
I'm gonna improv off whichever one you chose. Let's say that you go into the hallway.
Okay, I was leaning that way.
Yeah. But as you open the door, and we'll say that this is kind of in the morning now that you guys had a sleepover, and this is morning pillow talk that happened, disastrous pillow talk. You open the door and you come face to face with Adeline, Belinda's mom. And she's holding a cup of coffee. Actually, she's holding 2 cups of coffee. She was bringing one for Belinda. And she stops and she says, well, who do we have here? And
Oh, yeah.
Ahead.
No,
I
I was just gonna say, oh, hi. I'm sorry, I was just leaving.
Oh, please, no, you have to stay. Doesn't she, Belinda? We have breakfast prepared downstairs. Please,
So I
please.
guess I'll appear at my door. And I'm going to let Chloe stew in this. You know, she'll have to make a decision. I'm not going to save her unless she asks. I'll take the coffee right, from my mother.
There you go. Now, what's your name, dear?
It's Chloe. I'm
Lovely. Such a
yeah.
lovely name.
I'm friends with Belinda from school.
Apparently, yes, you are. Would you like to put on some shoes, Chloe, before we go downstairs for breakfast?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Excuse me, and I'll kind of push back past Belinda back to the room, and I'll grab my shoes. Is it apparent to Mom that I'm still wearing the bracelet?
Oh, you do still have the bracelet on, yes. And whether Mom notices that or not, you can't quite tell.
Okay.
But she does arch a brow at you, Belinda, as Chloe goes to retrieve her shoes from underneath the bed. My dear, you surprised me. Uninvited guests in the house?
They were invited.
But not announced.
We did not sign the guest book as we came in. That is true.
Apparently. Are you ready, Chloe?
Yeah, sure.
Come along then, come along. Girls, we have much to talk about. And we'll cut away from that scene, I think. We have a tense breakfast to have. That's the point. And August. So we left you hiding behind the sofa with your hand over Billy's mouth. And
You said his eyes were wide. Were they like wider than before?
wide and bloodshot around. Yes. I meant like
yeah, but then you said
kind of.
then you like but then like does it look like he understands the Cantonese? Is that why his eyes are suddenly going wider?
Oh no, I don't know. I
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like I thought that like I wasn't sure if there was like some implied like, oh, he's noticed something now, and that's why you're calling attention to his eyes again. I was just checking. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, unless Billy's looks like he's gonna do something really stupid, August's intent was to like just hold him here until until these guys leave.
So I think after the conversation, which is not a long conversation, it's maybe maybe 10 minutes. One of them gets up, and you can hear that there's some kind of goodbye. And one of the men leaves. And the other, but you still hear that there's someone walking across the floor, and you hear the tinkling of like glassware. He's over near the bar. And then you hear a voice say, "All right, you two, you can come out now."
I like wait a second, like thinking in my head, like to what degree is this a bluff, and to what degree does he actually know we're there? And then I decide, no, he said 2. And I guess I sheepishly stand up and pull Billy up.
Well, who do we have here? Come around.
I do that.
How did you boys get in here? And he looks at you, August. Billy's blubbering.
Well, we were looking for like the bathroom for some alone time together, and we kind of wandered into this room, which was, and we're, you know, as you can see, settled down back there when you showed up.
And as you do that, your face burns. That right side of
Yeah,
your cheek
yeah, I know.
burns. And Billy says, dude, your face. And Eustace, it is Eustace.
I kind of try to do the sushing motion to Billy, but I am still a tiny bit high, so it just kind of turns into this weird like face touch, and then I like quite, and then I
And Eustace looks surprised, says, my, what is this? Did your mother do this? August?
I look at him kind of a bit sobering up and say, I don't know why you'd think that.
Looks like you've been slapped for some impertinence. Have a seat, boys. And he says, can I pour either of you a drink, a Pepsi, maybe something stronger? Not that you're of age, but the situation calls for it.
I talk over Billy, who I'm sure is about to ask for something. Pepsi. Pepsi.
Billy's cut off and can't ask for anything stronger.
Yeah. Not the time, Billy. Not the time.
So he brings you over a couple of Pepsis, and he sits down in front of you. Well, on the so you two are on the sofa, and he's on kind of the love seat next to it, perpendicular to it. You boys make odd lovebirds, I believe. And he turns to Billy, and he says,
Arm around Billy.
And he turns to Billy and says, how long have you been together? And Billy blubbers a bit, a year. We've been together a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, a year. August, I thought you and your mother had only just moved here recently to town. Did you have a long distance relationship with Billy beforehand?
Yeah, I think we've established I'm not that new. Like, because I knew
Oh,
Chloe
okay.
before Trip's death.
Oh, before Trip's death. Oh, okay, you're not that new. Okay, all right. Rewind that then.
Like we're one of the newer people to town. We're people know us as the new people. But like we're not like, you know, came into town a month ago.
Eustace says, so breaking and entering. How did you get into the casino, into the back area of the casino in the first place? There is security here. You must be resourceful boys. Looking for some place to snog.
You could say that.
Now, August, I know from his mother, but you, Billy, is it? How do you, what brings you here into the casino? And Billy says, well, my dad's here. My dad works here. My dad works here. sir, Mr. Marchand, sir. Ah, your father. Well, so you are the children of my employees. Caught in an awkward situation in my office. What should I do about that?
Well,
August, do you have any ideas?
you said that we're resourceful, and I'm sure someone like you, if you're anything like Belinda, always has a use for resources.
Ah, you know my daughter. Of course, you go to school together. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Doesn't sound like you have a very high opinion of Belinda, though, do you, August?
We're friends. Look, I'm out of character, I'm contractually obligated to say that.
You are contractually obligated to say that, but it is a lie. Or is it?
We're frenemies at this point. We're frenemies.
Okay. Well, it's good to know my daughter has some friends, even if they're friends with poor judgment, who can't find a more suitable place to have their liaisons. How is my daughter doing at school? Is she well liked? Does she have influence?
Sorry, there was a plane passing over. Was she well liked? Was she?
Does she have influence?
August runs that question through his head for a second. She has influence, I say, not answering the first one.
I do worry about her. She's an only child, you know. And sometimes she doesn't make friends too easily. I'll tell you what. We wouldn't want this affair to affect the employment of your parents. So let's make a deal. August, you seem to be speaking for the two of you. A promise, maybe. Promise me that you will report to me on my daughter's status and activities at school. Anything that might be of interest or unusual. If you make me that promise, this will all go away.
Fine.
I know how important promises are to you, August. So I have no doubt you'll keep yours. All right, boys. Well, I have business to attend to. I'll let you go now. And I look forward to hearing from you, August, on a regular basis. And he stands up and he opens the door. He makes a sign for you to leave.
Yep, I go. Grab
And
Billy.
comes scurrying
Yep.
after you.
Yep.
And Billy's like, are we really boyfriends now? And
You're
then we
not
will
that
cut
high,
it.
Billy. You're not that high.
That was close. And we'll cut away from that one. And back to the breakfast. Belinda, what is it like the room where you all have breakfast?
I mean, it's not like a formal breakfast, but it's obviously the kind of place where you could, without too much trouble, have like a formal dining experience. So maybe it's set up like a hotel buffet or something like that. It's a bit over the top, right, for your kind of private small family breakfast, right?
Breakfast. Do you all have servants?
Possibly, or maybe there's just one kind of housekeeper
one.
who somehow does it all, right?
Uh-huh.
Um,
Housekeeper of Marching House.
Yeah.
All right, so I see the three of you sitting at a table together, and your mother is sipping her coffee with a smirk on her face.
I'm gonna beat her to the punch, you know. Like, so Chloe, you were just about to say, and here I am spending a string to tempt you, because I have a metric shit ton of strings on you now. You were about to say what you wanted Mario for.
And Adeline just raises her eyebrows and looks at you. Chloe.
Well, I'm curious, would it make sense here? Do people think that it's okay if I just spill what Mario's doing with his expose here?
You do whatever you want. Yeah. You're gonna try to come clean? Oh, goodness.
Well, do you think that that's well, because you're spending a string and I don't want to take XP if I'm not really earning it. And really doing something interesting, because I could just lie, but that wouldn't, I mean, that's not, you know.
Yeah. What's Belinda tempting Chloe to do?
I mean, I want to know the truth about what she wants to do with Mario.
So what I want with Mario?
Yeah. So like, I guess essentially why you said his name, right?
Okay.
I'm still picking at this scab.
Okay, so the truth is not that I was saying
a fresh
his name
wound.
because
It's not a scab.
yeah. So I was not saying his name because of the expose. It's because I have a thing for him. So I, with the utmost just crushing shame, will say, I have a thing for him, kind of. I mean, that's the truth, okay?
Okay. Now, I'll put a hand on yours and say, Yasmin will be terribly crushed.
What do you mean?
I mean,
I'm not telling her. It's a crush, you know. It's not. It's nothing. It's not a big deal.
Okay, well, you let me know.
Wait, let you know what?
I mean, I thought earlier it seemed like you really did want Mario.
I mean, I do, okay, but it's not like he's with Yasmin. I can't just like step in. I mean, I'm not that kind of person.
Oh, okay. Now I'll pat your hand and then go back to my cereal.
My
I want to ask
frankness.
like how you feel, but mom is right there, so I can't.
Such a frank conversation. A love triangle, is it?
I choke on my coffee a little bit.
Tell me about your friend Mario.
Well, for it to be a triangle, mother, I would have to have any feelings about Mario that do not go beyond my being his editor, and I don't think that counts. More of an angle, a crush angle.
A triangulation then. Or rivalry, even better. A rivalry for pretty Chloe's affection. Who will it be? Will it be Belinda? Or will it be Mario?
I don't think I'm in a position to I mean, I don't. What? What? You're just messing with me, right?
It's a simple question.
And I look at Belinda like, does she actually want an answer?
And I look back, and it's like, obviously, we are like, I'm my mother's daughter. Obviously, when I ask a terrible question, I want an answer, no matter how terrible it's going to be.
I just kind of like look in utter horror down at the table and don't make eye contact with anyone, and I say, that's a really tough one. Belinda's very nice.
Nice. Now that is a word I haven't heard used to describe you in quite some time, Belinda. Seems like you are making friends.
I mean, if nice is the height of it, then I suppose I have to be satisfied.
And Mario, is he nice as well?
Mario is definitely a nice boy. Very sweet.
And she looks to Chloe. And a looker, no doubt, right, Chloe?
He's okay.
He's very cute.
Of course he is. Of course. Well, girls, this has all been very, very informative. But I do have some things I have to attend to. So I'll leave you two to it. You can finish your breakfast, and I'll see you around, Chloe. Can't wait to hear the stories about how it all worked out.
Good meeting you. Thank you.
And then she gets up slowly and walks out of the dining room of the breakfast nook. The two of you are done. You want to cut away there, or is there something more that you want to do here?
I think there's maybe some more awkwardness to squeeze out of the scene.
There could be, yes. I was wondering. I wanted to give you the option to squeeze more awkwardness out of the scene.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that, but it seemed to me that if I didn't get an answer, you were going to run away again.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I should have told you that wasn't fair to you. It's not that I don't like you. It's complicated, okay?
I mean, I don't want. If it's more than a crush, you should tell me, because I don't know, I'm being silly.
Wait, why?
I don't usually. My mother's fascination that I might have someone over unannounced, or that I wouldn't tell her, or that she's never heard your name before, isn't like odd. It just means I don't usually I'm not usually this unguarded with people. So if you're just messing around and being serious and are really serious about Mario, I'd like to know now.
I don't know really. Look, seeing you has kind of complicated things. And I'm saying this like it was still wearing the damn bracelet. So I think I like him, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I wish I could give you a straight answer, but I don't think I can. I do like him. He's been nice, and I do like him. I just maybe I'm just telling myself I don't like him as much as I do because I know I can't have him, you know?
Okay.
I hope I hope you don't feel like I used you or anything.
No, I mean, I don't feel like that.
How do you feel?
I feel like I'd like to see you again later.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, and I kind of glanced down at the bracelet. Anytime.
Okay, well, let me know when you're free, and we'll.
Yeah, I've got my race this weekend, but I mean, yeah, we should meet up. You're pretty awesome.
Okay. I will, maybe come close to blushing.
Okay, we'll cut the scene there. All right, we're close to the top of the hour. Let's take our second break and come back at the top of the hour. And I'll see you then. Okay. Unless there's some other scene that somebody wants to call before the track meet, I think we could go to the track meet, which all of you I think are planning somehow and attending. And we can move from there. Anything else that people want to do before that, or are we cool?
No, I just feel like I should point out that, Donna, if you just wanted to give one more condition to Chloe, you'd just be able to start earning 2 strings off of her at a time.
She already
That's kind
has
of a temptation.
She already has 2 conditions, so.
Oh, she already
troubled and
has
heartbroken, right?
Right. So what does that mean with your move?
So I thought it said 3 or more.
No, it's
No, but it's 2
or
more.
more.
Have you been marking 2 strings then?
I got an extra string just there for the sex move, so that was the first time I think I'd gotten a string.
So you got 3 strings out of that move then instead of 2?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Wait, so how many do you have on Chloe now?
I had 5, a whole advance's worth of XP. So I'm down to 4 now. And
You see, Belinda's taking over as the dark power.
Yeah.
You have more strings than my dark power.
Chloe, you might want to think about taking that mortal move. When people have a lot of strings on you.
I think that Chloe also has a The Tainted also has a move like that. They
Oh,
get they get something for doing the bidding of people that have a lot of strings on them.
Oh, right. Right. Oh, under pressure, right? If someone has 3 or more strings on you, add 1 to your rolls and carrying out their bidding. You
Yeah.
have to submit to Belinda. And I wanted to make sure that you also, Chloe, took XP for your failed roll for the failed
Yes,
roll,
I got
right?
that.
Okay, good. Make sure about that. Okay. August, I'll let you take the lead. We'll just have a scene with Belinda and Chloe. How is it that you arrive at the track meet? By yourself, with others? Do you still have Billy in tow?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Billy's been hitting it hard since like even before. I don't know if I could keep up with Billy. The way he looks. I think I'd probably show up on my own. Alistair isn't there though. I don't know why.
Right. We'll have to find out why Alistair's
Yeah.
not there later. Yeah.
I'm probably looking for Belinda as well, because I'm like actually obligated to.
And question for you, that moment that Chloe broke her promise, oh, she had broken her promise before, but that moment when your revenge was taken, did August feel something at that moment? Or did it just passes without August being aware of it?
No, I think it felt good. I think I grinned a little bit. Like I
You
think
felt
that's why
something had happened?
yeah.
And you knew it had to do with Chloe, right?
Yeah, like this was all like timeline wise, that all took place well in the past of where we're at in the fiction.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was in such a good. That's why I was in such a good mood to see Alistair. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of a jolly that you get off of that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know exactly what happened to her. You just know that the scales were balanced somehow. Right?
Yeah, I just know that, like, in my heart that, Chloe probably regrets blowing me off.
Okay. So is there a scene that you'd like to call either with Belinda or Chloe or some other NPC at the track meet while we're kind of people are still gathering and
No, yeah, I look for everybody. Belinda. Hey, Belinda. Belinda.
Oh, hey, August. I think Belinda has like a big camera because Alistair is flaked out, so I have to take all the shots as well. Call the shots and take the shots. It's just no fun.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I just came over to let you know that I'm being blackmailed by your dad into reporting on you. Anything you want me to let him know, you can just tell me.
Oh, what's he blackmailing you with?
He's gonna fire me and my Billy's dad, my mom and Billy's dad if I don't.
So like.
So like I think it will make it really easy for us now if I report to him that we're dating. That's the way we can work that in there.
Okay.
Okay, we were breaking into his office at the time. I was trying to solve things.
You were attempting to get some blackmail material on him.
Yeah, I'd share it with you.
Okay, but remember our plan. Our plan is not to blackmail him. It is to disgust them into breaking up. Remember? This is the plan we went through.
Yeah, but I thought it's always good to have a plan B.
Okay, but a plan B, but not undertake plan B while plan A is still in motion. That's just, I guess, ruining plan A in favor of a shit plan B.
Look, I'm just letting you know that anything you want me to tell your dad about what you're doing, I can tell him.
Oh, and I can trust you to do that, can I?
Yeah, where's Alistair?
Fucked if I know. He sent me a text this morning to say, "Oh, sorry, something came up. You can take my B camera from the office, and he'll make it up to me." I mean, I would say, if this is how flaky he's going to be, he might not have a job in the paper for long.
Sure, it's important. I'm sure he wouldn't flake out on you if it wasn't important.
But you're like his best buddy now, right?
We're friends.
Okay. And you don't know what's going on with him? Can I spend a string to get you to tell me what's really going on?
Sure.
Okay.
Some XP then.
Yeah, look, I think he's just fucked up with Trip's death still. He says he sees things. I don't know.
He says he sees things like ghosts.
I mean, he says he sees Trip.
Well, that is fucked up. Do you believe him? Or is he gone a bit?
I believe that he sees them, he sees Trip, and I think that it's understandable as far as I think. So, like, I know that Trip's death fucked him up a lot. And I'm just saying, maybe you don't need to give him shit about this when you inevitably decide to use this information, Belinda.
Okay, well, you're right. Maybe I don't. I'm just updating my strings, and obviously August 2, Google Sheets thinks is a date.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Oh god.
I was There's something I was trying to change it on people's sheets, but then they all changed it back to
Okay.
to the way so it all looks standard.
Okay, sorry, that was just
I'm
weird.
sorry.
I'll take it easy on him.
And
You
as
know,
you say that,
Oh, okay. I'll mark that down.
well, that's not a promise.
was that a promise?
No, you said
That was-
you said I'll take it easy on him. That sounded like a promise to me.
Well, I was about to say you don't believe it for a second, you know.
Okay, fine. You want to pretend you're not making promises, Belinda? Go ahead.
You can ask for a promise.
You can ask for a promise, yeah.
Mhm. Do you want to ask for a promise, August, or you can leave it there?
Look, are you actually saying that, or are you just saying that so that I'll let you run around after Chloe?
I'm saying if this morning has something to do with Flip, then I guess I can understand that. I'm not saying I'm not going to fire him if he continues with the flakiness.
Fine. I can't ask for anything more. And well, yeah, I'm just thinking if there's anything else I need to bring up here.
Belinda, as you're having this conversation, you get a text. And you glance at your phone. And it's from Luna. And it says, I have what you want.
Okay. Well, I will text back, and I guess it's Sunday, right? So, well, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll exchange notes.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that August doesn't have anything to do here. But I feel like that's a good point to like shift the scene. You know, a foreshadowing text message, then we flip the scene to what's going on with Chloe.
Yeah. Chloe, are you guys warming up before the race? Or is there something else that you wanted to do before the race?
At some point, it could be before the race, it could be after. I don't really care about it. At some point, I would like to use my strings attached bargain. To ask the Dark Power for how can I get Mario? So we could play that out. Alternatively, I'm happy to proceed with the race if that is, you know, maybe a better scene to prioritize.
Let's see.
I could do the scene with strings attached whilst showering post race, like as is tradition.
It's traditional to have shower scenes, of course. Well, tell you what, let's do a scene with Mario. I think you've seen Mario in the bleachers before the race, and he's got his laptop open. And he's writing, and he sees you, and you guys are just warming up before the race. And Harriet is there, and the rest of the team is there. Harriet looks to be in a great mood. She's just beaming, and Mario sees you looking over at him, and he waves you. He says, "Come."
I jog over there. What are you doing here, man? I didn't think you were gonna. I mean, you're not doing a story on this, are you?
No, but you know, a lot of people come in. Yasmin likes to come. She's not here yet, but it's a big deal, and I want to support you, Chloe. You're racing, right?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a cross country 5K, but you know, it'll be quick. You know, way less than half an hour.
How are you feeling?
Good. You know, I think it'll go well. I mean, Harriet's probably gonna beat me, but I think I can get out ahead and really get quite a few points for the team. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
So I've got to ask you. And he looks around, and he doesn't see Belinda with behind the telephoto lens, and says, and maybe he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Did you get inside Belinda's house?"
You will never believe it.
What did you see? What did you see?
So do I have any? I forget, Donna. Did I get away with taking any photos of the catacombs?
Yeah, I think so. You turn
think
on
I
the
did.
light, so yeah,
I think I'll
so.
sit closer to Mario than I really need to in order to show him the photos, but I'll pull open my my camera roll, if you will, and just start flipping through this stuff. And I'm saying like there's just all these like catacombs. They have these alcoves with skulls in them underneath the house. There's this section where it's like this giant like treasury full of, it looks like silver, but like 100% silver, like not like an alloy. Like it's totally silver. And then there's this huge, and then I realize that I'm wearing the bracelet. And I kind of catch myself and sort of lower my hand and focus on just showing him the phone.
Holy shit, that's amazing shit. You could forward those to me, would you? Would you, Chloe? This is great. This is great for my story. Who do you think those skulls were?
I don't, I mean, they look human. Yeah, here's the thing though, like I don't think people ever go over to Belinda's house. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm worried if you publish these photos, Belinda's gonna know it was me.
But I gotta use the photos. I won't name you.
Well, I think I'm like the only person who's been to Belinda's house in probably like 10 years. So it like she would know. She doesn't take just anybody down there.
But we gotta use this, Chloe. We gotta use this. If you give me the photos and you say I can't use them, what good are they to me?
Hang on, let me think what I want to do here. And I use a move to try to get him to like, hey, you know, it's cool, trust me, trust me, trust me, that kind of thing. I wonder if I could like try to like do a turn on move here to kind of get him to like chill and just do what I want him to.
We'll try to turn them on somehow. How would you do that? I like this.
Yeah, no, like
especially considering who's watching.
I yeah. Maybe he's kind of like talking with his hands a little bit, like,
Yeah.
and I'll put my phone aside, take both of his hands, and I'll bring them down so that they, in kind of a like settle down kind of way, but I just happen to be putting both of his hands on my thigh.
Excellent.
All right. And I say, hey, I'll make it up to you. We'll figure this out. Just be patient, okay?
And I think you can roll to turn him on.
Okay. I think I'll chance it at just a +1.
Six. Do you have a string on Mario?
I don't have anyone. I don't have strings on anybody.
Okay, so you take XP then for your failed roll.
Yep. Knew I should have spent a string.
And I think Mario says, you got to give him to me. You got to give him to me. Don't worry, I'll protect you. I'll protect you from him. And then at that moment, actually, let's stop right there, cut away from there. Belinda, you're seeing this through your telephoto lens on your B camera. What's going through Belinda's mind? I can see the camera focusing in on the hands.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And well, you know, Chloe says one thing, but she means another, is what's going through my my mind. And you know, maybe that's enough. I see this conversation, and now I'm just like swinging the camera away. Maybe I have to take some shots of Harriet, right? Or the general race, right? So there's definitely like a turning away, a cold shoulder with at, you know, several hundred meters distance, still a cold shoulder.
Right. And August, so you've had the conversation with Belinda, and yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another scene that you want to have before we do the race, or shall I tie up these? And
No, I think let's tie up the race, and I think that's a pretty good point to end the session, because we're in the 3-hour mark here.
Yeah. So if we smash back to Chloe, you've just put your hands, put his hands on your thighs, and Belinda's seen this through her telephoto lens, and then you see suddenly you feel up against behind you, someone has sat down, and it's Yasmin, and she says, "What's going on here?" And Mario looks uncomfortable. All of a sudden, he pulls his hands away from you, Chloe. Nothing. Chloe and I are just talking. What do you say, Chloe?
Oh, hey. Yeah, no, I'm helping him with an expose that he's writing, just passing along some info. Yeah, I'll send the photos along to you, Mario. I better go finish warming up though.
Sounds good. Thanks for your help with the story, Chloe. And Chloe gets up to leave, and as you look over your shoulder, Chloe, you see him put his arm around Yasmin, and Yasmin is looking somewhat upset, and she's whispering to him.
I will glare just a little bit.
Glare just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm not shooting daggers here, but I'll give her just a little bit. I gotta send a message, you know.
Right. And then I think we cut to the race itself, and you said it was a 5K, like a marathon, kind of a long distance race.
Yeah, well, like 3 miles, which is, you know,
3 miles,
kind of a shorter end of distance, but it's, you know, still
distance. Yeah. And I think you're playing against your team. I think it's you and Harriet and a couple of other people from your school against a couple of other schools.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the track is there's a way that is it just around and around a track then?
I mean, traditionally cross country is done on like an actual like course, whether it's like a wood, like a wood trail, like a wooded trail, or a golf course. Like you actually are like running across like actual, you know, unpaved area, but you can just as easily do like just a long race on a track, if that works better for the story.
I like a trail. And people are maybe gathered around the finish line, but there are moments, because they're kind of maybe perched up above, that they can see places, especially if they have binoculars or telephoto lens. They can,
well, and this is the desert, right? So
so it's pretty open. Yeah. Well, the story is that Harriet just tears out, and it's almost like she's sprinting at the beginning of the race, and she pulls so far ahead of the entire pack. she's not altogether sprinting, but she is really going faster than you think she should be going.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the beginning of the race. And as the race continues, she doesn't appear to be slowing down at all.
Sure. Yep.
And you are way in the back. And some of the other kids are in front of you, but no one's near Harriet. And as they get close to the finish line, well, as Harriet gets close to the finish line, you guys are nowhere near it. People are noticing that the time that she's making is phenomenal. Just the raw time. And once she comes over the finish line, I think the people in the crowd, parents, but also other students, are just all crowding around her, and she looks barely winded. And by the time the rest of you limp across the finish line, no one's paying attention, and everyone is talking about the amazing time that Harriet just made. And they're all crowded around her. And Belinda, I assume you're there taking photos. Yeah, and you see Chloe cross the finish line. How do you look when you're crossing the finish line there, Chloe?
I mean, I think that I'm competent. I've never been maybe the best person on the team, but I've never been, below average. Like, I'm probably on the, like 60th or 70th percentile for my team. Like, I'm perfectly competent, and they tend to put me in. I tend to get some amount of points. So I get through it just fine. And I'm not like making a fool of myself, but I think I did push myself maybe a little too hard because I saw how quickly Harriet was moving. And so I think that I look especially bad compared with her.
Okay. And August, did you view the race?
Yeah, I think I saw the race.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I think maybe I will I feel like maybe I'll approach Chloe at the end of the race if she is. I mean, all of the attention is obviously at Harriet. Why is anybody even, why would anybody even be, interviewing Chloe or taking photos of her? Why? I mean, besides Belinda, obviously. I assume Belinda is just taking photos of just continuously. Like, if we just go through the photos, it'll be like a stop motion of Chloe.
I'm not sure since
Okay.
that whole cold shoulder. Maybe
right. Okay.
I've gone into professional mode, right?
Okay.
It's a professional mode.
Right.
And maybe I'll obviously swing by after interviewing Harriet, but yeah, it's not quite as overwhelming as it might otherwise have been.
Man, Chloe, not even Belinda is taking photos of you.
What the hell? And I think that I'm just like blown away by how fast that was. I just looked up, like, apparently in real life, like the high school, like, at least in America, top time for a 5K for girls is like 15 minutes, 58 seconds. So let's just say that Harriet was like right below that. Like, she was just a little bit ahead of 16 minutes, like maybe 16:10, something like that. And that's insane. The rest of us are probably at least 2 minutes behind. And so I'm just like astonished. And I'm like, August, what the fuck was that? She's never come close to that kind of time.
I guess she has some kind of new training. I mean, I know that she was good before, but look, I guess I wanted to say about, look, I don't know. I guess, look, I guess I want to say, given all this about the other night, Chloe, I guess, I think I was, obviously you weren't going to do anything to hurt Harriet. I mean, she just ran that, and I don't know what's going on with you, but I wanted to apologize for thinking you were gonna, or implying that you were gonna do something if I left you there with her.
No, don't even worry about it. And I'm like exhausted. I'm like pouring water all over myself. No, it's fine. No, you and me are good, August. Don't even worry about it.
Boy, I mean, are you okay, Chloe? And I guess I kind of have you sit down. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna push things there. Might as well at the end of it's the end of the session. I look, my mom is on her feet a lot. Sometimes I've gotten pretty good at doing these. I like pull one of your legs up onto my lap and like off your shoe and start giving you a foot massage. Like just a friendly one because we're such good friends, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
you would see nothing in this, obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna roll to turn you on.
Yeah.
So generous, August is.
I know. Let's see how this goes. That's a 10. So
Ooh.
I get back. I now have 1 string on
You
anyone.
got a string.
Oh yeah, I still had a string on Alistair, but he wasn't here.
And I think you get a string, and Chloe does choose a reaction
Yeah.
from the list below.
Oh gosh. So you get the string and I choose a reaction. I mean, what are you looking for any particular outcome? I mean, I promise something I think you want sounds appropriate because you're a fae. But
yeah,
I
don't
know
mean,
what you could be asking for.
I was not like, I come over to apologize because obviously, Harriet is just in such good condition, obviously. I mean, I guess like if you want to be generous and promise something related to our friendship, you could. I'm also fine if you want to get like if you wanted to pick a different option and be like, I don't know, embarrassed or something, that's also fine. But
Well, if we can engage your fae mechanics, I think we should. But I just don't know what you could want related to our friendship.
I mean, what does Chloe think I want? I guess is the question.
Maybe some demonstration of my loyalty to you because I have kind of been ditching you this week. So I don't know if that would mean like helping you with something or doing something for you or talking to someone for you. Promising to hang out with you, helping you get into Belinda's house.
Oh man, I mean, I think that like if you want to be like the promise be here, like I owe you one. That's a promise right there.
Just like you can
Ooh.
call in a favor at any time.
Open-ended
And I
promise
have
to
to just
fae.
like drop everything
Wow.
and do it. Yeah, okay, no, that's cool.
Okay.
We'll go with that. I'll say something to the extent of, yeah, oh my God, what the hell was that? Hey, like I said, August, don't even worry about it. Look, I'll tell you what, let's start clean slate, except I owe you one. If you need anything, you have my word. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and I'll be there, okay? Like we're good.
Oh man, I think I'd probably say, okay, Chloe. And I probably like am saying it in like a way that is more serious than I should in that moment.
You okay there, August?
No, yeah. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, here, get the other foot too, and I'll have to sit over.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine ending that moment there.
Okay. All right, well, it seems like that might be a place to end the scene there, and maybe end the session as well. Unless, yeah, let's just stop there. And at the open-ended promise to a fae, what could go wrong? All right. I am going to stop the recording.